Hi, everybody. I hope I found you in a great mood today because today we're going to talk about one very, very important topic in our lives and also a topic that could be a problem for many people. They don't know how to deal with it. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Maria and I practice astrology. So, since I found astrology, I have a new page of my life. So it was life before astrology and life after astrology, because now I see the world from birth perspective. I see the life from the universe perspective. I understand how life goes, and I'm happy about all the challenges and difficulties I face because they're making me tougher and stronger. Um, so today I said we're going to talk about one very important topic in all our lives. And it is something that concerns everybody from young age until from 0 to 100 or to 120, wherever the person lives. And today we will talk about love. Hi, Ivanka. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for watching. Love. So, love is what is love for you? Do you believe in love? Love is feeling, love is emotions that attract us to another person. So, there are different types of love, right? There is motherly love, there is partner's love, there is love that we give to our pets, love that we give to our plants. So there are different types of love, but today we're going to talk about Coaching Real is here. Hi, Coaching Real International, the best platform that is shooting to the stars. Hi, Violetka. Yes, I defocus now. So it's me, Stanislava. Yes, hi. We are going to talk about love. Everything is about love, right? So we said we have different types of love, but we are going to talk about love between two people. So when I say two people in the modern world, I wouldn't mention because we are in the age of Aquarius, so everybody has right and freedom to do whatever they like. So we're gonna talk about love between partners, and obviously, as everything else, this is explained through your birth chart and through astrology. So the big question today in the modern world is to be or not to be, single or couple. So many people decide to be single, and especially, because today we live in the Mercurian world where everybody is rushing to work, they don't have time, they just don't want to commit, they don't want responsibilities, and they decide to stay single just because they don't have time for that, because they have other priorities in life. And yesterday we talked about that we are all different souls, so we all have different goals, different wishes, different desires. Everybody's souls want something different. So this is again choice of the person, whether he will be single or couple or double, right? But according to the nature and according to the law of the universe, and according to God, right? Everything is in pair in the universe. So we have day and night, we have yin and yang energy, masculine and feminine. So everything is in couple, in two, in the universe. As well, in the birth chart, everything is in opposites. And today we're going to talk about one of the axes of the opposites in our birth chart. So when we talk about love, and when we talk about marriage as well, do you make any difference? Do you think this is same or different, love and marriage? You can love somebody but not be married, or you can be married to somebody but you might not love that person. And this is exactly how astrology explains these two things. So astrology separates love from partnership. So we have a house for love, which is the fifth house. We have house for partnership, which is the seventh house. So mostly when we talk about marriage and getting married and the typical, oh, you're 30 now, you need to get married because somebody needs to give you a glass of water when you get older. Is this love? I'm not sure. So today we're going to talk about love, yes, and emotions, but mostly on the partnership side rather than the crazy love. Although we're going to talk about Venus through the signs, and then you will understand that there's so many different types of love. Like Venus can be in many forms. True, yes, Stanislava says. Right. So we said that, yes, there are two separate houses, two separate things. One is love. And one very interesting thing is that love, creativity, and children comes under one house. And I was thinking, why is that? And then the answer was children are creation of love, or they should be creation of love. So this is like our biggest passionate creativity that we do. And then we have children, so they are creation of love. And we also, as human beings, we are creation of love. It's just we live in this, or we used to live before 2020, right, in the material world, where everybody was running for the material possessions, so nobody cared about love. But this is going to change in the new age that we're entering now. So the planet that represents love on the Earth is the planet Venus. Venus is a small planet. Venus is always 48 degrees from the sun. So you always have your Venus one or two signs before or after your sun. And Venus represents your love life, your emotions, what do you like in love. In the mundane astrology, which is concerned more with collective truth, the countries, and like the collective consciousness. Venus represents art, music, fashion, luxury, cosmetics, makeup. So everything that is beauty and balance, everything comes after everything is ruled by Venus, if you want. So all the flowers, all the nice things, the balance, everything is Venus. Everything is Venusian. So Venus rules two zodiac signs, and they are Taurus and Libra. So in Taurus, why Venus rules Taurus? Because Taurus is a sign that would like to sense the world through the five senses. So Taurus like good food, good perfume, luxury. Taurus wants to feel, to hear, to see. So this is Venus. So Venus also is prone to luxury and indulgence into things. And Libra, on the other side, Libra is more like justice and equality. And this is where the partnership comes. Because with Libra, you don't necessarily have crazy love, but you have partnership. So it means that everything is 50-50. So you respect each other, you're balanced, and you just live in harmony and peace. So Venus also rules justice and equality, but Venus also rules money, which is very interesting. And the zodiac sign that rules money is Taurus, but Taurus rules the money that we work for, because there are money which are much more, which is the Scorpio energy, but these are the money of the others. They're not our money. So, but we're going to talk about money in another life. So today we talk about Venus. So what you need to know is that Venus rules love and money. So when you want to see what's your love life like, or your money and possessions, you look the position of the Venus. But today we're going to talk about especially about love. So it is a bit different when we see a man's chart and a woman's chart. For example, in a woman's chart, Venus represents what is she like in love? What kind of person, how does she behave when she's in love? And Mars, on the other hand, represents what type of person, what type of man that woman likes. In the man's chart, Venus represents what type of person that men like. So, did you remember this? In the woman's chart, Venus represents what is she like in love? Is she emotional? Is she egoistic? Is she giving? Or so, what is she like in love? And the position of Mars, because Venus and Mars are in love, you know, the position of Mars shows what type of men that woman likes. On the other hand, in the man's chart, Venus represents what type of woman like this man. So if somebody, let's say Peter has Venus in Scorpio, it means that he likes kind of secretive women. So this is the type of women that person would like. Well, before starting talking about Venus, actually, I was thinking to talk about the axis, but yeah, before the Venus. But anyways, in astrology, as I mentioned, everything is in pairs. So we have oppositions and we have the axis, which is ascendant, descendant. So the ascendant or the rising sign, everybody know your rising sign, because these are the big three in astrology. It's your sun sign that everybody knows, your moon sign, your soul. We talked about it. We talked about our souls yesterday and how to make our soul happy. So if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, please watch it. You're going to learn a lot. And the ascendant. So when we talk about relationship with other people, we see ascendant and the opposite, descendant. So the ascendant or the rising sign is the sign that rises on the horizon when we were born. And this is how we present ourselves to the world. This is how the world sees us. So it's very different if you have Aries ascendant and if you have Pisces ascendant, because the Aries ascendant would act more warlike, maybe conflict-like. He would be risky towards other people. On the other hand, Pisces ascendant would look like a creative type, like a musician, like an artistic type, who fantasies about the ideal world. So it's very different. And the ascendant is also something that makes us unique, because the ascendant changes every 2 hours, roughly, more or less. So that's why it is very important to know your exact time of birth, because according to the time of birth, we calculate what is your ascendant, in what degree, and according to the ascendant, we calculate the other houses. So we have opposite of ascendant, descendant, and then we have another very important axis, which is Imum Celi, is our roots, where we come from, and Medium Celi is, or the midheaven, is the point where we should aim for. So we grow like a tree from Imum Celi, from the roots, we go to the midheaven. This is the way we grow, but we're going to talk about our missions tomorrow in my tomorrow's video. So yes, we're talking about ascendant, descendant. So ascendant is how we present ourselves to the world, and descendant, on the other hand, so it's always opposite. As the descendant shows what type of people are interesting for us, what type of people we are attracted to. For example, I'll tell you my example. So I'm Libra ascendant, right? So Libra ascendant would give a balanced person that likes fashion, maybe jewelry, makeup, a person who would like to look beautiful all the time, a harmonious person, but also there is always, like good and bad thing that the Libra ascendant would give indecisiveness. So, especially when I was younger, I had this overthinking, shall I eat this meal or the other meal? Shall I do this or this? And then I think, and then I prefer somebody else to make the choice for me, because if I make the choice and if I do wrong, I will regret. And I always thought, why on earth I'm not like some Aries risky person who would say, I want this, even if I'm wrong, I take the responsibility. So this is the other opposite of the Libra, is Aries. So I was always like delighted by how risky these people are. And subconsciously, I wanted to be like them. So this is what what attracts us from the opposite. So the opposites, I will tell you all the opposites. Oh, Gary's here. Hi, Gary. I can stay here and listen to you all day long. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Ascendant, descendant. Yes, they're always opposites. So what we are, the opposite is what we are attracted to. So if we have on Aries ascendant, descendant is Libra, Aries and Libra. Then Taurus ascendant, descendant is Scorpio. Gemini ascendant, descendant is Sagittarius. Cancer ascendant, descendant is Capricorn. Leo ascendant, descendant is Aquarius. And Virgo ascendant, descendant is Pisces. So these are the 6 axes in plural, yeah, that are very important, and vice versa. So if you have Libra is Aries, then Scorpio Taurus, then Sagittarius Gemini, next Capricorn Cancer, Aquarius Leo, and Pisces is with Virgo, right? So I will also shortly tell you about this axis, the meaning. So Aries and Libra represents me, myself, and the other, my partner. So it's always your relations with other people, and mainly on one-to-one relationship. So it could be partner, like love partner, marriage partner. It could be a business partner, or how you relate to other people, how you connect to other people. This is Aries is the ego, Libra is the balance, me and the other person. Then we have Taurus and Scorpio. As I mentioned earlier, Taurus is the possession of the person, is what I possess, my possessions, material or maybe spiritual, idealistic, although we mostly relate Taurus with material possession. So it means money, house, car, whatever I possess. But don't forget the Taurus or the second house can also mean like what we have values, like qualities as a person. So you can spend your money on property, right, and have material possessions, but you can spend your money on courses and then get another values and qualities as a person. So like personal development, what I have as a person, what qualities I have. So this is the Taurus energy. And on the other hand, if Taurus is my money, Scorpio is my partner's money, or the money of the bank, or inheritance, or something else. So Scorpio is always related to others people money, or loans, or insurance, or something that it's not ours. I will actually make a video, very interesting, how one soul progresses through all these 12 energies, how the zodiac is made. Then Gemini rules with communication, so we need two people to communicate. And Gemini is also primary education, is our neighborhood, like close environment. On the other side, we have Sagittarius, which is far away. So if Gemini is here and now, Sagittarius is far away and later. Sagittarius is traveling, expanding your knowledge and your mind. It could be through traveling, or it could be through studying. So Sagittarius also rules higher education, universities, religion as well. So something that is higher mind and wisdom. This is the energy of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is always related to like more wisdom and, let's say, a monologue. And Gemini is like dialogue. So for Gemini, you need to talk between two people. They need to exchange information. With the Sagittarius is like preaching, let's say, or just talking. It is one person. It's the wisdom, one person who shows the wisdom. Then the next would be Cancer and Capricorn. So Cancer energy is the most motherly energy, very caring, nurturing emotions, and it's the family. On the other side, it's the career, it's the outside world, it's the public. So do you know that eternal questions many people have, family or career? This is it. It's Cancer and Capricorn. What would you choose, guys? So this is Cancer, Capricorn. So with the Cancer, we have lots of emotions. With Capricorn, Capricorn is cold. You'll see later when I talk about Venus through the signs. And next one would be Leo. Leo and Aquarius. So Leo is creation. We said creation, love, passion, what makes us really happy. And Leo is more like egocentric. The ego is very high in Leo. On the other hand, we have Aquarius, which is the friends. So me and the friends. So if Leo wants to be on the scene, wants to be like the king, the Aquarian energy, the opposite axis, is we. But we as not as part, me and you, but we as like many people, 10 people, 20,000 people, like the socializing. Me and other people. How do I merge with the groups? This is Aquarius. And the last axis is Virgo Pisces. And that's very, very delicate. Why? Because Virgo is very mental, logical. Virgo wants to like really think. There are no emotions. In Pisces, everything is about emotion and intuition. If Virgo talks, Pisces feels. So this is the difference. So it's very delicate, as I said, and probably difficult to understand if we have two people, Virgo and Pisces. For example, I'm Virgo sun and my sister is Pisces sun, and I started only understanding her when I started learning astrology, when I started learning about Pisces energy. Otherwise, like, it was difficult for me. So also Virgo rules the health, but more physical health, and Pisces rules more like mental health. Because when we have lots of Piscean energy, this person can go into depression. So let's say some illnesses of the mind. Virgo would deal with illnesses on the body on a physical level. Pisces would deal with illnesses on the mind, like schizophrenia, like mental, on a mental level. Dragan, now I have two different platforms. So in this one, I'm going to speak in English. So there are other people who don't speak Balkan languages. So this is for them. Thank you. Right. So these are the axes, the 6 axes. And as I said, whatever your ascendant is, then the opposite would be your partnership. you're the descendant, and that is the cusp, the beginning of the seventh house, which is partnership. So every time when I look into a horoscope and I want to see if that person is going to marry or what type of marriage this person will have, I see the seventh house, so which is the Libra house. And sometimes it happens that this house is packed, seventh house is packed with a lot of planets. It means that this person probably will have difficulties adjusting to the partnership, because before doing that, this person needs to work on himself a lot. This person needs to make a balance in himself so he can connect to the other person. And many times our ideal partner or our prince or princess, they don't come until we are ready for them. Because if they come and we are disbalanced, we're going to miss them. So it only happens when we are balanced and we are ready. That's why I say, especially when we have planets in, or Chiron in the seventh house, Saturn would bring like really karmic relationships. The person needs to really learn about this. With Neptune, we can have lots of disappointments in marriage, in partnerships. With Uranus, that person could be just scared of marriage. That person wouldn't like to get married because he wants to be free. He doesn't want somebody to take his freedom. So see, everything is there. Everything is there in your birth chart. Very interesting. So yes, the seventh house. And I always say, work on yourself, get to know yourself, get to know your soul, get to know what you want. Because many times people say, I would like to marry, I would like to find a partner. And then I ask, what exactly do you want? I don't know. So you need to know what you want. And also when we want something and we send this message to the universe packs it and send the reality to us. But we must know what we want. And it's as easy as that, guys. It's just like ordering from Amazon. It just takes longer. It doesn't come in 3 days, but it will come in months, maybe a few years. So if you know what you want and you really want it, and you're very emotional about what you want, you will get it. But you must be sure. Not one day you would think, I would like to meet somebody. I don't want to be alone. The other day you think, actually, I feel good on my own. I don't need anybody. So what happens? The universe just is preparing your gift, and then you change your mind. So the universe is taking it back to the warehouse. And then you said you want it again. So you send confusing messages. We need to be sure in what we want. And I am not 100, but 1,000% sure that you're going to get it if you really want it. Okay? This is very well-known now, documentary called The Secret, right? Watch it and you'll see. But even before knowing this documentary, I had a dream to live far away. And then that dream went on for many, many years, and it came true. Well, maybe a bit later than I wanted, but it came true. And then I realized that nothing is impossible. We just need to be sure, and we just need to really want that thing. Okay. Next thing. Yes, we attract what we are. So that's why I said we need to balance ourselves in order to meet our partners. Now, next thing. So, to see what our love life would be, we look the position of Venus, which tells us what do we want in love. But also we see the aspects that Venus make in our birth chart. So if Venus makes challenging aspects, so challenging aspects in astrology are opposition and square, with Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron as well, it means that here you have to learn some lessons before coming to the real partner. And the lessons are more or less predictable. For example, if your Venus is in opposition or square with Saturn, it means that, so Saturn is always karma. It means that your relationships might be karmic. What does it mean? It means that you might meet people from your previous life and you need to make a balance. You need to work on the lessons that you haven't learned from your previous life. So with Saturn, if Saturn is in challenging aspect with Venus, these people usually are scared to be in love because they don't want to be hurt. They fear of love. And if you fear of love, you cannot attract love. We talked about that already. And this also might mean that these people in their childhood faced coldness. They didn't experience love. So this comes from the childhood as well. And when we talk about traumas about the childhood, we talk about Chiron, and I will make a whole video about Chiron. What does it mean in your birth chart? So with Saturn, we said if Venus is in square or opposition with Saturn, it means that you will have to learn probably some not very pleasant, let's say, lesson in love. But once you learn it, Saturn will give you the best. But probably it is going to be on a after 30 or maybe late 30s. So this is Saturn. And also, it is even not recommendable to get married before especially before 30, before the Saturn returns, because it's not gonna be working, because you're disbalanced, you don't know what you want, you haven't learned your lesson, so it's just better to wait. If Venus is in challenging aspects with Uranus, well, Uranus would give you a sense that you want freedom. You don't want to take responsibility. You just want, you would give a lot of freedom to your partner and you will expect a lot of freedom. So you don't want him to strangle you. You just want to be free. Like be in a partnership, but still want to be free. So this is what Uranus will give you. Coaching real Stanislava. Maria has brilliant Bulgarian and English. Thank you for your professional help, Maria. Well, yes, I try. So both those languages are my second, third. So yeah, I try my best. That's with Uranus. With Neptune, what happens? This is also challenging. Venus is in a square or opposition with Neptune. So, first of all, it means that this person will face some disappointment in love life. And that's 100% sure. Sooner or later, there will be disappointment because it's there. We have to go through this experience as a lesson. And on the other hand, it means that in the previous life, that person abused somebody else's feelings. So, the universe wants to make the balance, and now in this life, well, you have to give it back. So this is how it goes. So usually, again, before 30s, usually that person faces like very big disappointing in love, and then this is like a hard lesson to be learned, and the cure here is to be open and honest with your partners, because Neptune also rules with fog, with lies, with secrets. If this is what you were in your previous life, now you have to be open and honest. If you're not, the lesson's gonna repeat and repeat again. If we trip from the same stone many times, the problem is in us. It's not in the stone. So you need to be very honest when your Venus is in square or opposition with Neptune. With Pluto, again, things go very deep. Venus in challenging aspects with Pluto would give obsession, jealousy, controlling relationships, deep feelings, maybe manipulative feelings. And this is all because this person needs to transform Venus. So Pluto would like to transform your Venus, your love life. And again, this is karmic aspect. So to know where, you need to look at the position of Pluto in sign and house and Venus in sign in house. So these are mainly the challenging aspects that when we look at the birth chart, we know that this person must learn some lessons in order to grow. And it's not excuse to say, well, I don't have luck in life, I'm giving up. No. You set this goal and you will make it. You need to work on it and make it. With astrology, the good thing is that everything that is in the subconscious, something that we're not aware of, we make it aware, and that's how we help ourselves. So if I see square between Venus and Neptune, and I know that I suffer in love, I see that, and then I realize, well, in my previous life, I abused somebody else's feelings. Now, probably the same soul will come to make the balance. Somebody else will hurt me. And it's easier because you understand why. Because I'm sure you all ask yourselves thousands of questions. Why? Well, the answer is here in your birth chart and through astrology. That's why I love it. I cannot live without astrology anymore. Okay. Also, challenging aspect, but probably not so deep like those I was talking about, is Mars in conjunction with Venus, or Mars square with Venus, or Mars opposition Venus. So this Mars and Venus could also be challenging for relationships. Here, because Mars is the male energy, Venus is the female, and these two love energies are in conflict within the person. So if this person is with conflict with himself, he cannot attract right people. He will attract abusive, controlling, conflicting people, just because the people we meet are mirror of us. So you need, again, consciously, you need to make yourself aware of this, and you need to work on these aspects. Mars, Venus can be conflicting, especially if you have them in the 7th house, in the house of partnerships, or the 5th house, the house of love. Yes. And now we are going to talk about Venus through the houses, because I want you to be aware that Venus as love planet can give different emotions and feelings for everybody. So as you can see, we talk about the sun sign, the moon sign, now we talk about Venus. So there are a lot of things in our birth chart that make us unique. It's not only the star sign that millions of people have. This is what makes us unique. All the planets, all the aspects, the ascendant, descendant, and the other angles. So it is very important to know yourself, and how you will know yourself through your birth chart. Right, so let's now talk about Venus through the signs. And I'm going to start with the position of Venus, which is ideal position. And this is Venus in Pisces. And I'll tell you why. So Venus in Pisces people, they really believe in love. And they believe in love from the fairy tales. Because remember, with Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is higher octave of Venus. So Neptune is dreams about ideal world, spirituality, unconditional love. So this is very similar for people with Venus in Pisces. These people dream about their princesses, and very often they get disappointed. Very often, because we live in the world of Kronos, in the materialistic world, and they are dreaming of fantasy and utopian love, and they don't find it very often. So they usually undergo some disappointments before learning a lesson. Again, we need to see the aspects this Venus makes with other planets. And this person needs also to come to the ground, to the earth, not to fantasize and idealize the love. So this is the perfect position of Venus. And also when we have planets in strong positions and in weak positions, weak sign. Well, not signs, but weak position. So Venus in Pisces is called exalted. It's very strong position, and we can use always when we have planets in strong positions, we can use this planet as our talent potential. And Venus in Pisces can give you talent for art, for painting, for dancing, for theater, for acting, because this is something like out of this world. Just to escape from the real world, you dance and you're in your ideal world, or you paint and you're already in the universe, or you sing and you feel better already. So Venus in Pisces is good position to give you lots of talents and creativity. The next position of Venus is Venus in Libra, and this is where partnerships comes, because Venus in Libra people, they like equality. They like to be 50-50. They seek balance and harmony in life and relationships, and everything happens in two for them. So this is more like partnership love rather than crazy love. It's different love. Venus in Pisces would crazily fall in love. Venus in Libra would be okay, I love you, but partnership is more important than love here. And this is ideal position for marriage, because people with Venus in Libra, they tolerate the other person. So it's good position for marriage and partnership. The next position that Venus is strong is Venus in Taurus, and I mentioned this already, and that's because Taurus wants to feel the world, the love with the five senses. So to hear, to feel, to smell, to see, and this is one of a great position of Venus. So this position of Venus can also bring you money, as I mentioned, because Venus is money, and Taurus rules with possessions. Or it can bring you a wealthy partner, for example. If you have this in your natal chart, in your birth chart, it means that there is tendency. So whether you will use that or not, it's probably your choice. Then yes, people with Venus in Taurus, they might have talents as well, especially for singing, good voice, because Taurus is voice. So many of the singers have Venus in Taurus, and that gives good voice. Well, unfortunately, I don't have it. But my Venus is in Leo, and this is the next position. And Venus is in Leo is said to be good position. Why? Because Leo is creation and love. So Venus in Leo, although in Leo we have ego, but Venus in Leo is good because it's burning love. It's wanting to shine and be on the scene. It's like I want to be number one. So these people need to be number one, princesses to their prince. So Venus in Leo is they want compliments, but they're also loyal. They're seeking for attention. and they might be egoistic. So they're always like pros and cons for the same thing. The next position of Venus is Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer people would be very sensitive. So much sensitive that they're so fragile. So if once they're burnt in love, they finish with the love life in this in this lifetime. I know a person with Venus in Cancer who got married, got cheated, and she said, "That's it. I will never ever do this again." So once they're burned, because Cancer is very fragile energy, so they get scared and they just go for it, but then they get scared, they come back to their shell and they finish with it. Next one is Venus in Gemini. And Venus in Gemini, love is very communicative. These people are very flirty. They know how to use words in a love way. They know how to give compliments. But on the other side, they might be shallow. So they will just say without thinking it, which is only words, right? But love is not only words, it should be deeds. And also these people might have tendency for parallel relationships. So beware of that, guys. The next position, Venus in Aquarius. So Venus in Aquarius would give idealistic love, but this love is more oriented towards social circles, friends, socializing, rather than love itself. So these people have love for, I love everybody. I love my wife, but I love everybody as well. So this is the love, they're humanitarians, Venus in Aquarius. And they always open for new things, modern things, and they seek freedom. They give their partners freedom and they seek freedom. Which would be similar, like we talk about Venus in square with Uranus. So this is because Uranus rules Aquarius, so it's a similar energy here. The next position of Venus is Venus in Sagittarius, and these people are very intellectual and spiritual. They are very adventurous in love. They like traveling, so ideally they would find a partner who will travel with them, trying new things. They need new things, new interesting things all the time, and they also can be prone to polygamy. So like very optimistic in love, but also like they might love everybody. The next position would be Venus in Capricorn. And Venus in Capricorn is very pragmatic, very materialistic, and oriented toward career more and work rather than family. So this would be a woman who would say, well, I like my family and my husband, but I have to work. I love my career more. So these are people who they might be more traditional oriented, more realistic. So they're not falling down because of love. Their love is more real. I'm a doctor, you're a lawyer. Let's make this partnership, have kids, and let's eat from the pragmatic way. This is Venus in Capricorn, and they also look very cold and unemotional. Venus in Scorpio is again not great position of Venus, because Scorpio energy is more secretive. So these people might be people who hide their feelings. Probably there are a lot of feelings in them, but they hide them, they don't show them, and they might be secretive as well. So here again we can talk about going on something behind the scenes. They can also be obsessive, manipulative, but it would be probably very difficult to gain a person with Venus in Scorpio, but once you really get that person, they are ready to merge with you on every level, like intellectual, emotional, physical, because Scorpio is the sign of merging, really. Venus in Aries is considered very weak position of Venus. And this is because in Aries, the ego is very strong. And Venus doesn't like ego here. We need to have love to people. So these people, Venus in Aries, their love is burning and quick. They burn, they fall in love, and then the next day they fall out of love. Finished. They also can be narcissistic as well. They're very open, direct, and they need variety in love, and they need to be the leaders in love. So they want to be leaders in the relationship. And the most important thing for these people is not to hurt their ego, because that will be the end of your relationship. That's Venus in Aries. And the last position would be Venus in Virgo. And Venus in Virgo is a weak position. Why? Because Virgo is critical. Virgo is analyzing. Virgo is perfectionist. There are not many emotions in Virgo. It's a lot of thinking, and they're very picky. So it's very difficult for people with Venus in Virgo to find the right person, because they say, okay, he has a good job, he's a nice man, but I don't like his shoes, right? So this is the type Venus in Virgo, so it's not easy to find the right partner. So you can see how different is the energy with all the love lives we have. And that's why it's very difficult as well to find the right partner, because we need to look at everything, especially if we do astrological comparison. We need to look to the sun sign, moon sign, Venus sign, Mars sign, Saturn. We're going to talk about Saturn, where the fears are, and lots of things. So, but at least once we find our partners, we can understand them better through astrology. So once you see his birth chart, you will probably know him better than his own, if you understand the birth chart. Because in the birth chart, there are lots of things that we're not aware of, things that subconsciously are maybe tormenting us, but we're just not aware of that. And astrology is here to help us a lot. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, well, first of all, our souls, our subconscious, right, our moon, feels which person is good for us, which person is not so good for us. So we choose our partners, and then we can do a synastry chart. A synastry chart is a technique where we put the charts of the two partners together, one on the other. You remember the wheel? So we put the chart of the positions of the planet of the partner A, and on top partner B, and then we look for conjunctions, oppositions, squares, trines. We see the ascendant, and then we make analysis and see what type of relationship will these people have. Would they agree or not? What partner? What will the partnership be, and what the love part will be. So this all can be seen. Also, in the synastry chart, you can see if you're related with this soul from previous lives, which is like very interesting for me. So if you have your south node, we're going to talk about nodes tomorrow, our mission. If you have your south node in conjunction, so south node is your previous life, in conjunction with some of the planets, or especially Saturn or Moon, Sun with your partner, it means that in the previous life you had some relationship. And there is another type of chart that can be made between two partners, and it's called composite chart. And this chart is actually only one, is melted. It's like a melt mix between the two charts, and this chart would show the mission of the two souls to put together what you guys as partners should do in this life in order to fulfill your mission. Because if you didn't fulfill your mission the previous life, you met again to make the balance in this life, and the composite chart shows exactly what do you need to do. This is also a very interesting thing. Okay, a lot of talking. So I hope that I explained some things. If you have questions, you can ask me here on the chat, or you can message me on my through my Facebook page, Astro Maria UK. And also, if you would like a reading with me, we can do that as well. I do bespoke consultations depending on your needs, what you want. And I'll tell you a little extra for the end of this live. So one of the ideal positions that you would be in good relationship with your partner is if your sun and moon signs mix each other. For example, if you have a moon in Aries and your partner has sun in Aries, that's a good that would be a good relationship, because your partner would satisfy your soul's needs. We talked yesterday about the needs of the soul, our subconscious needs. So your partner would satisfy your soul if you have same moon and your moon sign is same with the sun sign of your partner, and vice versa. So this is one of the good positions. But also it could be the opposite, because as we talked already, opposites can attract. So Aries, Libra, and so on. So opposite or same sign would be a good partnership. And this can also be applied for the big three, what we say in astrology, and that's ascendant, moon, and sun. Sun sign, yes, ascendant, sun sign, and moon sign. When you put these three on one side and your partner's three on the other side, if there are matches, same with same sign or opposite, then this is a sign that your relationship, your partnership will probably work for longer. Okay, I hope you liked my video, and I will be expecting for you tomorrow at 6 o'clock UK time, and we are going to talk about mission. What is our mission in this lifetime? How to see our mission. Well, there are a few things that point out for our mission. It's not only one. And we're going to talk about previous lives and this life and very interesting things. And just because I love poetry, and today we talked about love, I would like to tell you that I have two favorite poems from the English literature. So one is The Passionate Shepherd to His Love from Christopher Marlowe. Come live with me and be my life, and we will all the pleasures prove. That's how it starts. The other one is sonnet, I believe it was 18, on 118 from William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely, more temperate. So these are the few verses, and if you want to read them, check them. They're very nice poems. If you like, if you have exalted or strong Venus, you would like poetry as well. So it's Christopher Marlowe, The Passionate Shepherd to His Love, and William Shakespeare, sonnet 18, I believe it was 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? I wish you a good evening, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow.